So Marinakis steps down control from Nottingham Forest, but the question is why? Welcome to your Forest breaking news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to your latest breaking Forest news. Coming up, we'll explain to you this whole charade that everyone's suddenly panicking about. Marinakis gone. People are messaging me. What's happened to the Greek father? We'll talk you through all the details in just a second. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. And there's a new predictor video out over on our second channel, the Footy Network, so make sure you check that out. There's a Grumpy Old Reds tonight at 8:30. Plenty of content to keep you guys entertained with. All right, let's get into this one. And Marinakis steps down. That's the talk of the town right now. Well, we already told you this was going to happen a couple of months ago. And look, let me just say, Marinakis still owns Forest, right? So don't panic. It's all good. But remember back to when we did how Forest qualified for the Champions League video a couple of weeks or months back? We said to you, with Olympiacos winning the Greek league, with Forest potentially getting Champions League football, you cannot have an owner have two clubs in the same competition to basically give an unfair advantage or whatever the reasons are behind UEFA's rules. So what tends to happen is that the owner has to relinquish one of the clubs so that both clubs can enter the competition. Otherwise, they wouldn't be allowed to. And the team that qualifies first gets precedent on it, which in this case would have been Olympiacos because they won the Greek league, but technically they still have to go through a playoff. So what's happened here? Marinakis still owns the club, but what he's done, he's put his shares into a blind trust, right? So what that means is he officially doesn't have any say in the day-to-day happenings of Forest, but it's just on paper. So let me read you through some of the articles, and there's been loads that have come out. So let's start with this one from, I think it's The Athletic. Marinakis steps back from Forest in a bid to ensure UEFA compliance next season. Forest have begun their preparations for a potential run in European football, with Marinakis taking a step back from his involvement in the club. The Greek shipping magnate has placed his shares in the Premier League club into a blind trust to ensure compliance with the multi-club ownership regulations of UEFA, which runs Europe's 3 continental club competitions. Marinakis also controls Athens-based club Olympiacos, who have had their own Champions League qualification confirmed, with Forest also hoping to secure their place in Europe's top competition with a top 5 finish. The 57-year-old will now have no influence or control over the runnings of the club next season, while UEFA regulations stipulate that he must pause his involvement in one of the 2 clubs if they both qualify for the same European competition. Goes on to say, while Forest Champions League qualification is not confirmed, UEFA rules dictate that these changes have to happen before the end of the month. Forest co-owner Socrates, who was part of the Marinakis takeover of the club in 2017, who are all 17, has returned to the Forest board, which has been significantly restructured. 3 independent trustees have been appointed in Matthew Shale, Tim Osborne, and Matthew Kane, who are all partners at the international law firm Wigan Osborne Fullerlove. Because UEFA rules stipulate that the number of trustees has to outnumber the numbers on the board, Michael, Jonathan, and Simon have all resigned from their positions, but Chairman Nicholas Randall will remain in position. So, look, a lot to unpack there, right? So, firstly, why has this happened today? Because the deadline for this to happen is the 30th of April. So Forest still haven't confirmed qualification of Champions League, but if Forest go on to get Champions League football, this had to be in place before that happens. Now, is this reversible? Yes, it is. So, excuse me, if Forest are unable to qualify for Champions League football, because they finished 6th, 7th, whatever the case may be, Marinakis can just reverse this and get rid of the blind trust and basically take back his old position. But with this happening, it doesn't mean that he doesn't get a say. This is the thing I would say, because remember we told you before, we've seen Manchester United do it last season with Jim Radcliffe when he bought Manchester United. He also owns Nice, I believe it is. And the same with Manchester City. They own another club, and for the life of me, I can't remember which one it is. They had to do similar things. This isn't a scary thing that's happened, okay, is my message to you guys. This stuff has happened plenty of times before and will happen plenty of times again. Now, do I expect Marinakis to have no say in Forest transfers or no say in Forest budgets or anything like that? No, of course he's going to, but it won't come from his mouth directly. It will come from him into this board of trustees, and then, it gets acted upon that way. So don't worry about it, is why I'm doing this video, because it's nothing to panic about. I see it as a good thing. And as more clubs evolve into this multi-club structure, because we've seen Forest have got Olympiacos, Marinakis, has got Olympiacos, Forest, Real Ave. We're trying to get a Brazilian club as well. You've got Edu about to officially start as well, because he resigned in November. At Arsenal, there's a 6-month gardening leave. That's nearly done now. We're going to see all these things start to materialize. And actually, the Marinakis group, for want of a better phrase, is going to go from strength to strength. So don't worry about it. The thing you need to worry about is the qualification of the Champions League. That's the most important thing, because all this is just a nothing story if that doesn't happen. And if it happens, I don't see anything changing on the surface of it. So it's nothing to worry about as far as I'm concerned. But as always, this is what's being talked about. These are the sensationalism headlines. Like, you should have seen my WhatsApp when this broke. It's like, oh, Marinakis gone. Oh, what are you going to do? Your boy, the guy you've bigged up. You bigged him up. He's walking away from Forest and all this. And I just thought to myself, I didn't even think it merited a video. But the fact that some people took that opinion makes me think, okay, let's just clear this up just to make sure everyone's on the same page. There's nothing to worry about. Marinakis still owns Forest. Will still own Forest. He has no intention to leave Forest. In fact, he has plans for Forest that are next level. So that's the news. Get your thoughts in on all of that. And by the way, don't forget, we actually have a game going on the pitch. And that's where the important stuff happens tomorrow night against Brentford. We will, as always, have the watch along for you guys tomorrow night. But in preparation for that, make sure you go and check out my match preview for it, which has only been released about an hour or so ago, depending, obviously, on what time you're watching this. I'll leave you the link on the end screen, and also check out my predictions for the week ahead. And I got some tasty opinions on how I think some of these games will go in this crucial race for the top 5. So I'll leave that, guys, for you on the end screen as well. If you've enjoyed the content and it's helped you and calmed you down, make sure you let me know by hitting that like button if you haven't already. Please do subscribe if you're new here to Forest Fan TV. We'll see you tonight as well on Grumpy Old Reds at 8:30. Come on, you Reds.